Apparently, Mastercard and Visa are filled to the brim with DEI. And in the face of everything that they're doing right now online, trying to restrict access to games, I shouldn't be too surprised. But the depths of how far this goes is actually pretty shocking. And I haven't seen anyone really talk about this. This was passed along to me by an anonymous tipster via email, and they sent me all the links to the official sites. And I was like, holy crap, this is wild, but not that surprising. This is from the official Mastercard website. It says, future of work, building more inclusive tech starts with bringing together more diverse teams. November 9th, 2023 by Nicole Turner. And I got to tell you guys, I think history is going to look back and just laugh at how ridiculous things were and how these articles all aged like absolute milk. This is on Mastercard's official site. To develop tomorrow's leading innovations, we'll need to build a more inclusive technology teams today. I think that explains a lot of what's happening already right now, by the way. Research has shown why is this not a hyperlink? Research has shown diversity pays dividends for companies. Diverse teams often perform better, make better decisions, and are more profitable than less inclusive teams. Source? Because what? Like, I mean, if you want to hire the best people for the best position, have all for it. I don't have any issues with that. If you're trying to tell me that just because you're handpicking Black people, trans people, women for a position to check a box, that somehow magically that will translate into selling more burgers, I don't know what to tell you. They're also more innovative, but to achieve greater inclusivity, you want more. It's never enough. The industry must take meaningful action to better represent the world in which we live. Women and many communities of color are still significantly underrepresented in the tech industry. This is a hardcore racist red flag. Anytime a company says this, they start to point out who they want to bring into the company just based off of their skin color or gender. That is actual racism. Black and Latino professionals currently make up just 9 and 8% respectively of the workforce in science, engineering, technology, and math professions, far below their representation in the overall workforce. Well, hold on a second. Maybe they just need to actually study what they want to study and do what they want to do. Maybe, crazy thought here, maybe it's the culture that they're brought up in, and that's something that is not interesting or entertained by their parents, so they don't follow that avenue of life. Maybe it actually goes back to just the culture that they're brought up in. That's not like a racist thing. It's like, that's the reality of it. Women account for about 25% of the workforce, and that's actually higher than I thought it would be, in computer and engineering occupations, even though they make up nearly 51% of America's college-educated workforce. What a deceiving stat that is, because this is college-educated. What are they educated in? Are you saying they make up 51% of computer and engineering degrees? Or are you just saying 51% of college-educated? Because, again, might be a culture thing where the women are following their dreams of what they want to do in this world. Instead of forcing a square block into a circular hole, they're going where they want to go in this world. Though it's important to ask why we haven't made significant progress to change these statistics, it's even more important to talk about how we can move the needle. That's something I think about every day in my role leading Mastercard's 7 global team hubs, where we create and run the systems that power the economy and build the technology that is constantly reshaping it. So this person does not actually have a real job. Their job is to brainstorm to how to be racist. That's not a real job. How on earth was this a legitimate thing? How did society even accept this? That's like a rhetorical question. I think we all know the answer. People were too afraid to speak up and be like, uh, I'm just going to go along with this because I want to make sure I still have a job. So I'm going to pretend I'm okay with all this until it reached a breaking point. People are just like, no, fuck this. I'm not going to keep going along with this. This is a broken mentality. I'm not going to agree with this anymore. I don't want to work at a company that's racist. DEI organizations are inherently racist organizations. Ironically, the thing they always projected on other people is what they always were. Bringing more diverse representation to tech. There's no silver bullet for inclusivity. I'm not going to read through this whole thing, guys. You already know the whole DEI rigmarole that they all push through because this goes on forever. And again, by the way, imagine being the person that wrote this and got paid for it. Engaging with communities that our tech hubs call home means more than just establishing a physical presence in various locations. It means becoming an active participant in the fabric of their regions. In many of Mastercard's tech hubs, we amplify programs like Girls for Tech, Mastercard's STEM education program for girls, and Black Girls Code, which is very racist, a nonprofit for Black girls in STEM. One of the most hands-on experiences in New York City's tech hub is via Breakthrough Tech's Winternship program. Imagine being one of the Black women that goes into this for a job. That is inherently injecting racism into the brains of these girls, thinking that they need to be empowered because they're Black. Like, no, just do a good job at what you do. You will be in demand legitimately. It's not about race. It's not about gender. It literally never has been. Maybe long ago, maybe there was a lot of inherent bias when it came to hiring. But I can tell you from the perspective of a company looking to hire the best person for the job, if you have what it takes to do it, you will be hired if you're the best person for it, as long as you're working at a company that isn't injecting DEI everywhere. That's the wild part about it. These people are walking Karens that are HR nightmares, looking to be creating lawsuits every step of the way. Through our global tech hubs, multi-million investments in underrepresented communities focus on inclusive leadership and partnerships with organizations dedicated to advancing equity and inclusivity. These are just buzzwords. You gotta say diversive too? We're harnessing diverse talent and perspectives to propel innovation. This reads like someone on LinkedIn trying to perpetuate the same huffing farts of everyone else on LinkedIn. This is not the real world. This is not the real world starting to hit these companies, and it's hitting back hard. And yes, I'm not going to spend too much time on MasterCard with this, but it goes on. There's even more. I mean, of course, you got the communist nose ring there. Being your true self, priceless. We believe in everyone's right to be their true self and are committed to continue to play our part in making that happen. Okay, what if MasterCard, what if my true self is playing bigoted video games and then you're not allowing me to buy those games? Honest question. Oh, it's only the true self of what you approve of. Gotcha. Okay, so as long as you fit into the nice DEI and diversity box of Black or women or something along those lines, or gay or LGBT or whatever, then you're fine. You pass the smell test there. But if you dare appreciate adult games, sorry, bro, we're not the company for you. Cardholders can personalize their first names. Oh, how nice. Proudly available. Look at this. Of course. Again, pushing propaganda, communist, Marxist propaganda, pushing ideologies, clearly with the rainbow pride flag on the cheek and the nose ring. That's a subtle dog whistle to the average layperson that doesn't really understand the reality of what's actually happening here. Mastercard continues. These are all on their website, by the way, accessible on Mastercard. Partnering for success, creating a valuable connection through supplier inclusion. So it's not just at Mastercard. It's not just the people that use Mastercard, but it's also who they partner with suppliers, where it's all about inclusivity, diversity, and injecting DEI every step along the way. And you think that'd be bad enough, but no. We also have Visa, who is valuing the unique identities and contributions of all employees. Inclusion is a business imperative, from our workforce to the products we design and the businesses we serve. And I love the stock photo of generic white dude with beard, old Asian lady, black lady, Asian girl, black dude. Got to make sure we have one of each, guys. Got to get one of each for the picture just to make sure we represent everything. But look who's in charge of it. I know, shocking, right? The CEO of Visa. Man, if this isn't the same story every single time. Hey guys, we're all about diversity and inclusion, says the generic white dude CEO up top of every company. We are committed to an inclusive workplace. We're striving to create a company that reflects our markets, clients, and partners. Ryan McKernty, Chief Executive Officer, Visa. What the fuck is this picture? Equal pay for equal work, our workforce, gender in the workforce, breaking down the dynamics, all that. Yeah, that's one too. You know what else Visa talks about? Diversity and inclusion, elevating the conversation. Visa really wants to push DEI as well. Almost like, I know this might sound like a leap, but they're in bed with BlackRock, Vanguard, the WEF, and pushing DEI globalization agendas. I know it's tinfoil hat Alex Jones time when you start saying that, but my God, could this stuff be more obvious? It's like they put it right out in front for everyone to see too. For Visa's CDO, what the Chief Diversity Officer, that's a made-up job. Jolene V. Anderson. Diversity and inclusion means more than just checking off a box. Okay, I'm all ears. She talks about her vision for Visa. At Visa, we strive to build a culture where everyone feels welcome, that their opinions are valued, and their voices are heard. Universal acceptance, interoperability on a global scale. Everyone, everywhere. These are all principles of diversity and inclusion that have been key to Visa's success. Now, I think the key to Visa's success is it's used everywhere. You are too big to fail. And now you're defaulting back to, okay, we need to make things for investors. How do we make our score go up for the WEF and make investors buy us because we're green, because we care about diversity and inclusion? We often talk about diversity and inclusion as the right thing to do. Who's this we? Who's this we? And we strongly believe it is. From our support of marriage equality, which, yeah, what the fuck's that have to do with working at Visa? To our commitment to serving 500 million unbanked in developing countries. Visa has celebrated people from all walks of life in our workplace. They're trying to pretend like they're a charity. Guys, this is a business. They're in business to make money. You think they give a shit about 500 million unbanked in developing countries? If anything, they look at them as potential slave opportunities for growing the business. They're not looking at this like, oh, how do we help people? How do we make their lives better? No, they want to make more money. Are we joking here? But embracing diversity and supporting those who are underrepresented has become much more than a conversation about doing the right thing. Today, D&I, it's not equity, it's just diversity and inclusion, has become a business imperative, and the companies who get that are winning the market. First off, it's important that we broaden our understanding of diversity to focus not just on the visible aspects, here we go. Okay, I'm all ears for this, such as race, gender, age, and physical ability, but also diversity of thought. Okay, so I would argue you don't want this word also, because all this other shit doesn't matter. If you think diversity is going to push your business forward, I might agree with that. If it's diversity of thought, if you're getting different perspectives from people saying, hey, this isn't a good idea because, say, I don't know, you hire someone at the C-suite level that's a gamer, and you guys start blocking games, and Collective Shout is calling you, and Collective Shout's like, wow, our pussies are dry, and we want you guys to take those games down because it's this causing a rash. And they and they take the games down, somebody who is fully actually diverse of thought, that is a gamer on the board, saying, yeah, definitely don't bend the knees to these people. I understand how they operate, and this is going to be a terrible idea for our company, and it will actually hurt us in the long run. And Visa listens to that input, and they're like, thank God you're here. We were about to do something really stupid and listen to these bitches. Thankfully, we didn't. Diversity of thought is very important. This means deriving value from people's different perspectives on problems and different ways to address solutions. Diversity is the mix. Inclusion is making the mix work. Inclusion, oh my God, I can't. People first, environment is key, leaders can make a difference, all this generic stuff. Very, very bland, boilerplate, pushing DEI across the board at these companies. And you know exactly what they're doing with this. You don't even need to say it. But even if you didn't know, looking at what's transpiring right now with what they are doing, pushing their agenda onto Steam and itch.io, and as we're going to talk about later, even further into the game industry, potentially, it is a very concerning trend. And I would argue if they do feel like they have diversity of thought there, they're certainly missing some diverse voices to put their head on straight, because the direction they're going ain't it. And I'll leave that one there.